This video shows you how to set up a Mastermind GT10 with a Kemper Profiling Amp. The setup process only takes a couple of minutes, and then you'll have complete control of the Kemper. You can select presets, turn individual effects on and off, control tempo, and use the onboard tuner. We've used the Mastermind GT10 in this video, but you can certainly use the larger model if you like. The setup is the same. The connections between the Mastermind GT and Kemper are simple. All you need are two standard 5-pin MIDI cables, and these are the kinds you can get at any music store. You need two cables for this setup. The first one plugs into the MIDI input of the Kemper, and the second one plugs into the MIDI output. On the Mastermind GT, the connections are reversed. The one that plugged into the Kemper's MIDI input goes to the GT's MIDI output, and the one that goes to the Kemper's MIDI output goes to the remote in on the Mastermind GT. Using two cables, you can get bidirectional communication, which opens up the door to a lot of cool features we're going to show you a little bit later. If you like, you can phantom power the Mastermind GT so you don't need to have a power adapter on the stage with it. To do this, we sell a phantom power box. The box combines one of the MIDI connections with the GT's power supply and converts that to a single 7-pin MIDI connection. To use this box, take the cable that would have gone to the GT's MIDI output and instead plug the connector into the 5-pin connector on the phantom power box. Next, plug the Mastermind GT's power adapter into the power jack. On the other side of the box, use a 7-pin MIDI cable to connect it to the Mastermind GT's MIDI output. It's important to use a 7-pin MIDI cable here because the extra 2 pins carry power to the GT. Now that we're all connected, we can configure the devices. On the KPA, we need to set up a performance. A performance is a way to organize your presets into groups, typically used for songs and set lists. You can also control the KPA in browse mode using the browse mode program change settings. You need to be set up correctly in either performance mode or browse mode in order to have the KPA respond to MIDI program changes. Now we can set up the Mastermind GT. Enter the setup mode by holding the two small buttons under the main screen until the screens change. And now we're going to press the Edit Devices button so we can go in and tell the Mastermind GT what devices we have connected. Out of the box, the GT is set up for one rack gizmo. What we're going to do is select that slot and redefine it to be a Kemper KPA, or Kemper Profiling Amp. Now with the device type selected, we can take advantage of the GT's built-in device database. This allows us to get things set up quickly. We'll start by pressing Set Default Buttons, and then selecting the button page 1. This sets up the buttons on the Mastermind's first button page to control the KPA. One of the nice features of the Mastermind GT is that it knows all of the device's continuous controller numbers, so you don't have to flip through a manual to go and find them. Next, we press Set Default Pedals, which sets up the expression pedals to control the KPA. Now we can download all of the preset names from the KPA. All we have to do is press the Get Preset Names button. And when prompted, we press Yes. The Mastermind GT will go through all the performance slots in the KPA and download the names of all presets in those slots. It takes a while to do this for all of the GT's 384 presets, but you can press the Stop button on the GT to interrupt the process once you've read all the presets you need. Now we're done with setup. Exit setup mode by holding the left button under the main screen and pressing the right button. Now you can see that the green preset buttons have been renamed to match the presets on the KPA. With these buttons, you can access all of the presets in performance mode. The IA mode button is a special button that, when pressed, changes all the functions of all the other buttons on the controller. Pressing this gives you access to all the individual effect slots in the current preset. Effect slots that are enabled in the preset are lit up, in this case delay and distortion. Effect slots that are not available in the current preset will be turned off. Another great feature is that the stomp and modulation slots will always show the type of effect that's in the slot for the current preset. Pressing the tuner button will activate the onboard tuner display. When connected to the KPA's tuner output will be shown on the GT's main display. You can tune at the front of the stage without having to look back at your rig. This should get you started using your Mastermind GT with the Kemper Profiling Amp. You can always customize the buttons on the GT to your liking. Unlike most MIDI controllers, the button layout is completely customizable, so you can set it up in the way that works best for you. If you have questions, please visit our forum or Facebook page online, and we'll be happy to answer your questions.